ब्रह्मचर्यव्रती दंडी सर्ववेदांत पंडित श्रीमद्विवेकयोगी मां प्रचोदयतु सर्वदा. According to Swamiji, renunciation and service are the twin ideals of India. So whether it is Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, wherever it is, a very important place is given to renunciation. Now, what is to be renounced? So when we talk of renunciation, some of us will say, yes, I have given up eating potatoes, I have given up smoking, I have given up drinking. Does all that amount to renunciation? We have seen in the Karma Yoga, what is renunciation? I, mine, my, all that have to be renounced. Even Arjuna asked this question to Krishna, what exactly is renunciation? So Krishna says, karma bhala ichcha. It is the renunciation of your karma bhalecha. Because it is very difficult for us to do work without asking for a return. Similarly, in Bhakti Yoga also, it is very difficult for us to love somebody, but somewhere in the corner of our mind, there will be some desire. A desire, if we are going to God, of course, we will desire for our well-being, or we pray for somebody to get out of their sickness. So some desire is lurking somewhere or other. Can we purify our love in such a way that is not even a pin drop of selfishness is there? Is it possible? That itself will become such a great sadhana, you see, to remove from our mind, from our love, all the desires. So Swamiji speaks of it. What he says, the mighty attraction in the direction of God makes all other attractions vanish from Him. So it is a test for us. How do we know my attraction towards God is complete or pure? There is no other attraction in us than for anything. That is why, when Suradas was given the capacity to see, Krishna gave him the sight, he saw Krishna, then after that he said, take away my sight. I don't want this sight. After seeing you, to see anything else, I don't want it at all. So that is the test of renunciation. So Swamiji says, this mighty infinite love of God which enters his heart leaves no place for any other love to live there. So we have earlier seen, in our heart there were 6 chairs. In all those 6 chairs, some uninvited guest was staying. So when bhakti enters into them, the personalities of all those 6 have changed. They have all been transformed into love for God, love for your Ishtadevata, love for truth, love for the well-being of the entire universe. In so many ways, the same truth can capture our attention in many ways. We can say, I love truth. I can say, I love the whole of creation. I can say, I love my Ishtadevata. I can even say, I love my parents like God. No problem. Once our mind is devoid of selfish motivation, that very same love takes on to the hue of bhakti. So, once bhakti enters there, the divine waters of the ocean of love, which is God Himself, there is no place for the little loves. That is to say, the Bhakta's renunciation. See, what is he renouncing? The Bhakta's renunciation is that Vairagya or non-attachment for all things that are not God, which results from anuraga or great attachment to God. So that sort of a absolute purification. There is nothing but God there. Day and night, every breath of ours is an act of surrender, an act of love. So like that is the Parabhakti. Gopis, Meera, they have all shown us that. Is it possible, we may ask? Yes, it is possible. Then what about our earthly life then, our material well-being? That is what Krishna assures, Yogakshemam Mahamyaham. Who is going to be totally centered in me, they don't have to worry about anything at all. He speaks of this bhakti aspect when he came back to India in the Rameswaram temple, to the surging crowd there who had come to receive him, knowing fully well the attitude of the normal people towards bhakti, to the temple, to the worship, to the divinity in the temple, knowing fully that, in a very, very eloquent way, he talks to them about this worship. So at Rameshwara, he says, external worship is only a symbol of internal worship. But internal worship and purity are the real things. Without them, external worship would be of no avail. Therefore, you must all try to remember this. That is a mistake for the entire Hindu community. We make so much of the God, our love for God and everything, but at the same time we forget to serve the God in human form which is there in front. So somewhere he is telling, this is the gist of all worship, to be pure and to do good to others. He who sees Shiva in the poor, in the weak and in the deceased really worships Shiva. If he sees Shiva only in the image, his worship is but preliminary. So it was a great warning to the people. Probably Rameshwaram lectures are some of his very first, after landing in India. So what he is going to give to India, here we get the first indication of it. We have seen in our Karma Yoga, serve man, serve God. So that he is emphasizing. We can have temple, rituals, everything. But if we are seeing God only in the image, only in the idol which you worship, then vain indeed is your worship. Later somewhere he says, break the idol and go to the ideal. And go to Shiva, worship. But don't stop with that idol. What is Shiva standing for? That universal being, the personified form of Tyaga. When the Kalakuda emerged from the Kshira Madana, churning of the milky ocean, and the whole world was threatened of destruction, he calmly consumes the Visha, poison, and helps both Devas and Asuras. No difference. So, in our life also, there will be so many occasions when this Kalakuda Visha emerges in family life, in our social life. At that time, we should remember, worshipping Shiva, having bhakti towards Shiva is not only a temple-oriented worship. We should be able to consume that Visha, that poison, and bring happiness and peace in the surroundings. So, Swamiji in Rameswaram, he gives a very, very meaningful message to all of us that worship Shiva, worship Krishna, worship Devi, not in the temples, but see them all in the people around. So, renounce your personal interests and serve them as their servants as you would serve the God Himself.